You can ring my bell. You can ring my bell. Oh. Guys, gals, and guests, honey. Yes, honey. We got some real talk today, honey. Today we got to talk about mental health, baby. Not sure if you heard, but Regina King just recently did her first interview since her son Ian's passing. His passing was self inflicted. But she's been doing interviews and hitting red carpets and talking to people because of her upcoming movie, which is dedicated to her son Ian. Ian Alexander Jr. to be exact. But let's let Regina talk for herself.
Oh, I'm 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 a different person, now than I was January 19th. I am grief is a journey, I understand that grief is love that has no place to go. I know that it's important to me to honor Ian in the totality of who he is. I speak about him in the present because he is always with me, and the joy and happiness that he gave all of us.
But behind that joy and happiness, Ian's mental health.
When it comes to depression, that people expect it to look a certain way, and they expect it to look heavy, and people expect that
It's okay.
to have to experience this and not be able to have the time to just sit with Ian's choice, which I respect and understand, that he didn't want to be here anymore. And that's a hard thing for other people to receive because they did not live our experience, did not live Ian's journey.
I think a lot of people
So angry with God, that why would that weight be given to Ian? Of all of the things that we had gone through with the therapy, with psychiatrists and programs, and Ian was like, I'm tired of talking, Mom. My favorite thing about myself is being Ian's mom. And I can't say that with a smile, with tears, with all of the emotion that comes with that. I can't do that if I did not respect the journey.
I thought about him when you were on the stage at the Oscars because you were wearing orange. I remember he used to escort you.
Yeah.
So are there moments where he was always there with you physically that, not as a trigger, but is it?
Oh, it's a trigger.
Is it?
Absolutely, absolutely. So sometimes it'll trigger just laughter. Most times, as of recent, it triggers a smile, but sometimes his absence is really loud.
Regina admits she still struggles with acceptance.
Sometimes, it's a lot of guilt comes over me. When a parent loses a child, you still wonder, what could I have done so that wouldn't have happened? I know that I share this grief with everyone, but no one else is Ian's mom, only me. And so it's mine. And the sadness will never go away. It'll always be with me. And I think I saw somewhere the sadness is a reminder of how much he means to me.
Yeah.
I don't know that I can. 2 words.
I had 2 words for you.
Do you?
Ian's mom.
That's the first thought that came to my mind.
That's the first thought that came to her mind. Ian's mom. Shout out to Regina King for having the strength to do this interview and to speak this candidly on a public platform as big as GMA. Now, she said a few things that I absolutely loved and I absolutely love to hear. She said, grief is love that has no place to go. It's the first time I heard that quote, but I absolutely love it. Grief is love that has no place to go. And with this awareness that grief is love that has no place to go, when you are grieving, I think that it would be a great necessity for you to learn how to redirect that love, for you to learn how to channel that love in positive ways. The biggest overall take from Regina's story and her experience with Ian is that depression is real. Very commonly, specifically in the Black community, we're told to shake it off or pray it away or give it to God, because you know how much the Negro diaspora holds on to their God and their Jesus. And no, I'm not a very religious person, but I do understand that religion can be a great help. But religion can't do it by itself, honey. I suggest that even if you have your religion and you have your clergy and you have your church to depend on and to help you heal, it can't hurt adding to that team. It can't hurt adding some mental health professionals to that team. Depression is, for a lot of us, me included, it's something that we feel as if we have no control over. And in actuality, many of us have very little, if any, control over our depression. And that's honestly why a lot of people take their own lives. It is common for people who deal with mental illness and mental health issues to take their own lives because it gives them a sense of control over their life and their mental health that they haven't experienced during life. Being somebody who lives with depression, I can tell you that I don't get to pick and choose when I'm depressed. That's why it's clinical, and that's why it's chronic, and that's why it's different than somebody who's just going through a hard time. For me, the lights in my brain can just go out at any given time, regardless of what's going on around me. So again, in a lot of ways, your prayer for a lot of people is like manifestation and meditation. There's definitely a link between spirituality and mental health. But again, it can't hurt to add more people to that team. And don't be confused. In all of these pictures, you see Ian smiling. Right? Very often you see me smiling. It's very common for us depressives to learn how to put on a good face, for us to learn how to perform, because a lot of us feel like nobody wants to see us sad all the time. It goes back to that old adage of asking people how they're doing, but really not wanting to know how they're doing. And many of us who are involved in entertainment and who entertain people, a lot of times we're the least happy. And one of the things that makes a lot of us happy is being able to put smiles on other people's face and being able to distract others from whatever they're going through. I encourage mental health treatment and psychiatric treatment for all Black Americans specifically. All Black people, period. The whole diaspora. But Black Americans specifically. We have patriarchy to navigate. We have anti-blackness and racism to navigate. We have bias, and we have a whole system that is intended to oppress us and make us feel lesser than and remind us that we're second class in this country. If for nothing more than that, I encourage you to seek mental health treatment. It helps. For a lot of us, without our treatment, we would be a lot worse off. And I'm just going to end this live by encouraging you to watch Shirley and support Regina King's movie, who her and her sister actually put together. It will be premiering on Netflix on March 22nd. I will be sure to watch Shirley Chisholm's story. And I hope y'all tune in as well. I love you for being you. I love you for supporting me. And peace, love, and blessings to you and yours until we speak again.